Okay, a Chinese diesel heater. I'm sure you've seen these on Amazon or on YouTube. There's plenty of videos out. What I'm showing you today is the new style blue LCD screen. This screen right here. How you can tell it's the newest, latest version. This is November of 2022. It's got the red circle that usually hangs on. The red circle says it's in the off. Sorry, I got the timer on. I'm gonna turn this timer mode off. I'll show you how to do that. That turns the timer mode off. I'll show you how to set the timers later. So that's how you cycle it on and off. If I'm leaving and I want the timer to start in a certain amount of time, I press this and I turn it on and I leave. First we'll set it, I'll show you how to set the timers. So the best way to get into everything is really just to start the unit. So to start the unit, you have just press and hold it for a couple seconds. It'll go into the on, all right? You'll see the glow plug will come on in a second here. And now we're in temperature mode, or automatic mode they call it. And oh, there we go. Now we're in manual mode. So in manual mode, I'm still going back and forth. So in manual mode, I can go up from H1 to H, so heater level 6, heater level 6, which is the maximum. And if I want to cycle through to the automatic mode, I'll just press and hold the setting button. So the setting button will switch me from manual mode to temperature mode, and the up and down. Okay, so it's preheating right now. I'll set it to 22, so that's the temperature I'm trying to get the room at. It's showing 20 here. I have the gauge. The pump just fired. If you've heard that, it just ignited. I heard it. It just ignited, and there it goes. Okay. Oops. So I want you to see the screen. So pumps on, glow plugs on. I've set 20 is the temperature inside this room, but please note that when the gauge is up on the heater, it gets a little warmer here. So if you're trying to get the room, say to 20 degrees or 22, you probably have to go a little higher than that, unless you pull this controller off and put it somewhere else. Although the wiring harness is fairly short, and I don't know if you can get a longer wiring harness. She's firing off, and I'm sure you guys can hear that pump. So I should be fine. So if we're going to use, I'm going to use the OK button to scroll. That is the temperature inside of the actual housing, inside the heater housing. And you'll see go up. That'll reach temperatures. I've seen it go up to 200, but it reaches anywhere from 170 to 200 degrees inside this housing. Hopefully that quiets down a little bit for you guys so you can hear me. So yeah, that scrolls through. That's the voltage that the unit's getting. So I'm running 12 volts. And that's the temperature. So that the OK button scrolls through the menu options. That is the only menu options you have. Internal temperature, voltage supplied to the unit, and degrees or temperature control. Now I can switch that to manual mode. Now the manual mode will give me, I like to control it manual mode, just kind of blast the heat till I get the room where I like it, and then I'll come over and turn it down. It'll kind of quiet down once it gets its temperature to internal temperature to about 170, 180. The fan speed will slow down a little bit. So So other interesting settings, if you're in high altitude, there is an alpine mode on this. So if you're at higher elevations, now I'm only 600, or 700 feet over sea level. So you can press and hold the setting and the OK button at the same time, and that will set you to alpine. If you heard the pump, it slowed down. And the reason it slowed down is for the lack of oxygen in the air. The air-fuel mixture is different at higher altitudes. It gives you less diesel, so it'll less carbonization. I will turn that off because we don't need it here. Okay. So to set the timers, so to set the timers, we go in, press OK and the right button, and that sets the timer. So that's the on position, and as you can see, the 0 is flashing, and you use the power button to scroll through which one you want to set. The decimal points is in 1/10 of a decimal. So there's 60 minutes. If they're in tenths, every minute is worth 6 minutes. So 1 is 6 minutes, 0.2 is 12 minutes, 0.3 is 18 minutes, 0.4, and then you get it. 0.5 is half an hour, and I'm sure you understand this. So you scroll through. So let's say we wanted to start this in 1 hour. We'd say 1 hour. We want this to be at 0. It'll start when we, and then we press OK. It just goes back. Now, in order to put the heater on, of course, I have to press the left arrow in settings, and it'll turn that on, and it'll come on in an hour. It doesn't have a clock, but it records time. If you leave it powered, it will. It's very accurate with its timing. Now, if we want to set, so there it is, and then we want to set, sorry, if I want to set, oops, I want to put 21 hours. We don't want to do that, do we? There we go. And there's the off. So you see it went from the on, the little red went from the on to the off, and it'll run for 24 hours, which is kind of insane. So let's say we wanted to run for 1 hour, it'll run for 1 hour. You can put it on if you choose to. You press OK. Now the timer's set. Like I said, in order to set up the timer, now the timer's on. So it's the left and the setting button turns the timer on. So now that I'm running, because I turned it on, it'll run the timer in the off mode. So it'll turn off in 1 hour. Every time I use it, I have to reset that. I have to reset when I'm going to start it, and when I'm going to, how long I want it to run, and it'll go according. Every time it runs, it does its cycle it wants, you'll have to reset that. I can turn that off right now just by pressing the timer off. So now it's going to run forever. This right now. The other thing is, if you've selected the remote, this is the remote came with this one. There's many different remotes with different colors and stuff. In order to set the remote, you press the power and the right button. So if you press the power and the right button, it goes into OC1. Now, there is 5 of these. You can actually put 5 remotes. So you can put it in OC1 or whatever position you want. I think it's a position. You can set this remote to be on that. And then you just press the up button on the remote, and there you go. Now you can see that the remote is using heat. That's on. internal temperature. So it's the same as the manual. In order for you to change, I'm actually changing the screen with the remote. H3. I don't want it to go down. It goes down. I'm using the remote, of course. And if I want it to go up, I can go up. Give it a second. It'll catch up. So it does everything from your remote. So on the remote it says SG4. On the screen it says H4. I don't understand what that means. I don't know what the difference is, but you also see the little temperature. Oh, sorry. You see the little temperature in the corner. That's the temperature of the room. Right? Okay. We go to voltage. It's on a couple volts. Now I can do the same thing from here, and as you can see there's no setting buttons. I can just scroll through and use the up and down to control the heater, but I can also power off. I'll show you the last thing I wanted to show you about this is if you want to shut it off, you press and hold power, shuts off the unit, or I can press and hold power on the remote, and it will shut down the unit. They're both in the off mode. Now, when it's in the off mode, there's nothing you can press that'll do anything, okay? Because it's in this off mode. It's going into the the turn off cycle, and at a cool down cycle. The internal temperature, as you see, remember, is 176 degrees. It's gonna blow off that. Little fan's gonna stay on for a little while, and as you can see here, this is the symbol for the blow off cycle. It takes, depending on how hot it is, it could take up to a minute, 2 minutes. That's all I have for you. If you've liked the video, please hit the like button. I'll be bringing you some more videos on this heater, how I've liked it. There's been questions about, their durability, their life, stuff like that. The pump, I can tell you some stuff about. I'll make some other videos about the pump. I did use the hard nylon pipe. Here's my setup. I've got it set up on a battery back there, and it vents out. I'm gonna wrap that line, and here's my muffler, and it goes out through a port in my door. It actually has, oh, that's really good. It's not getting hot. And there it goes, as you can hear it, still blowing off. All right, blows a lot of heat. I'll show you performance. This was just about the LCD. Here's, I got my intake strapped on the side of the unit here. I move it from my camper. I've got a little kind of utility camper style camper, utility trailer style camper. I'll be using it in there also, so I thought it was really handy to have something I can, move around, so I can move that exhaust, and I'll have an exhaust set up in the camper already. I just have to plug and play. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, go ahead and ask in the comments, and I'll try and do my best. My notifications are on. I'll do my best to answer them. Good luck. Thanks a lot. See you soon.